This is a good one, guys. We had the viral sensation that is the Reddit moderator with the comb over. And ladies and gentlemen, we asked every single uncomfortable question, and wait to see Vera's reaction. It is gold. You got to stay to the end. Watch this.
Hey, it's nice to meet you all. Thanks
Hi.
for
Nice meeting you too, man.
It's great to have you. How's everything going in your world?
You know, it's been a bit of a wild ride, but things are okay now. You know, this is certainly the biggest viral moment that I've been in, but this is not my first rodeo.
Not your first rodeo. Okay, well, let's start there. When was your first rodeo of being a viral sensation?
I'm more talking about how these spaces like Reddit moderation and the internet are insane. So actually, about like a year ago, I got like super doxxed, was all over Kiwi Farms. If you know about that website, it's kind of like a harassment kind of website. And it's initially it's overwhelming, but you kind of get used to it. It's like you're not really worried about after the first couple death threats are annoying, but like who really cares about the thousands, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You said you got doxxed. That's fucking horrible. Sorry about that, man.
It's good. I mean, you guys
You're a stronger man than me then, because that would piss me off. So good on you, man.
All right, well, let's talk about this. I got to be honest. You went viral. You talked about the Reddit mod, and we'll get into all that here in a minute. But I went through your timeline, and I'm just curious here, right off the bat. This comes from Reddit Lies over on X. They are asking. This is kind of posting your initial viral video here.
Sure.
That got popped off. They said Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities here. This is you. This went viral, got popped off. But then I guess who is Amanda Watson? I'm guessing this is a friend of yours saying that you're a troll now as you were in college. So like, walk me through this. Is this just a giant troll? Is this a bit? Is this authentic? I mean, I don't doubt that you were a Reddit mod, but like, walk me through this through this. Are you truly is this just a big troll, or are you coming on to troll our show?
No. So I like to mix truths with jokes. So I like to tell the truth through a joke by being, a little bit over the top, by putting in, ideas that sound outrageous at first, but actually kind of make a little bit of sense when you think about it. So I'll take the statement that I said before about how Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities or influencers. I know that sounds funny, but what's an influencer? In my opinion, an influencer is an idiot who just happens to have a platform. And I mean, a Reddit moderator also kind of fits that definition. And both of these groups need a lot of help. And, it's funny to say that like Reddit matters, but eyeballs are eyeballs. Reddit is the third largest website in the United States. It's worth $40 billion, right below YouTube. I think it matters a little bit. Surely, I mean, it matters to their stockholders. I guess that's my general thoughts. And so that was my idea with that video is, I was trying to be funny, but I was trying to talk about real things. And I will admit that the video kind of got away with it. Like there's some parts where I thought I was joking, and then there are other parts where I just got like way too into it. And I'm hearing like, okay, I am angry right there. And that's real anger that's coming through. So yeah.
So you're basically using humor to help try and carry the point out, basically, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So I asked, when I said, hey, he's going to be on the show, what would you like us to ask him? I got flooded with a ton of questions. So I wanted to kind of go through some of these questions here, because the life of a Reddit mod is a fascinating one to me, right? And we're going to touch on that here very, very shortly. But so I want to go to Pescator over here on X. They said, and this kind of continues with what I was asking here. How long does it take him to write his fake troll scripts? And when did he decide to play a character? So you are saying that you are not a character and you are legit you here.
Yeah, I'm actually being serious. I will say that I do love humor, and sometimes it's actually hard for me to turn it off. So if I do make a joke, it's that's just my personality. But I'm being serious. Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess the question was, how long does it take me to make a script? So I like to do my videos end to end in one day. So I think of an idea, I script it out, write it out, I film it, I edit it, and then I put it out, by 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And that's how I go. You can kind of see that in my other videos I've done in the past, where I know the production value looks a little bit funny sometimes, but I do it in a way where I can kind of get away with easy low production value while still being kind of funny at the same time.
Well, let's walk through your history with Reddit. Okay. Some questions that we had. Kirsha wants to know, like, how did you become a Reddit mod? Let's say multiple questions. How did you become a Reddit mod initially? What was your purpose of becoming a Reddit mod? And how did the mod powers corrupt you?
Sure. So the way that I tried to see, so I used to actually work at Twitch TV. And so I was an engineer there on the Clips product. And clips are what is posted to this subreddit. And basically this subreddit is kind of the front page of Twitch. All the major news is kind of blows up there. And this was affecting the company a lot. Like people at the company talked about the subreddit all the time, and it was causing us lots of problems. And so after I left the company, I like to say that I went on like a spec ops infiltration mission, like from the start to see if I could like take this thing over. And I would say that I certainly got lost along the way. And so this whole Reddit moderation thing, it's, I did not start out being this crazy, but I will say that this wild world of Reddit, you don't notice where you are until you're like, playing weird political games and trying to manipulate people on this stupid thing called Reddit, but until you're there. So that's the story.
So the power that you felt by being a Reddit mod went to your head, is what you're saying.
Kind of, but I would also say it's I tried to do, we'll say it, the right thing at the first, at the initial thing, and that never worked. Every time, I tried to just convince people, it didn't work. But every time I tried to break the rules, every time I tried to manipulate people, every time I tried to take it further and further and further, that worked. And and so it was just like a one step after another until I guess you could say the power goes to your head, or it's just that's what I got rewarded for until I blew up on me at the end.
Okay, so
can I ask a real quick question?
Yes, please,
Sorry,
Phoenix,
Craig.
yes.
I was actually kind of curious, like, because I actually find this kind of fascinating. What were some of your tactics in manipulate? Like, what can you kind of step us through? How you did that?
Sure. Wait, manipulate like what the other Reddit moderators or the
Yeah.
Well, I guess you tell us. You said that you would manipulate people.
Yeah.
Give us some examples of what that looked like.
Exactly. So the main way that I initially became the top mod, like the dictator of this group, is that one of the other top moderators had left, and so there was like a power vacuum, and so there was this internal fight between who will be at the top position. And what I ended up doing is I just ended up playing two sides against each other. I talked to one side and said, hey, these people are out to get you. They're doing all these bad things. And then I went to the other side and said, hey, those guys are out to get you. And then I was kind of like the middle of the road guy, being nice, working with everybody. Everybody wanted to be I was just better than everybody else. And so, they wanted to be on top, but they'll take me as second place.
Do you have any specific names or examples that happened?
I'm just talking like these are just like random nobodies. I don't know their names. They're just like random other mods that were fighting against me in the Game of Thrones Power War Reddit.
Okay, this is probably the biggest question that we got from a lot of folks. And Phoenix, we'll come back to your question in just a second.
Yeah, of course.
Where did you get this confidence? Right, this confidence, like you just said it a second ago. You go like all these nobodies or whatever, right? Like, where did this come from? And did it come from the Reddit mod powers?
No, this started off pretty early on in my life, and that's I consider myself an anti-intellectual. So I went to a very top tech school, Carnegie Mellon, and I was, I'm in the tech industry, but I did not major in computer science, and so I had a bit of a chip on the shoulder where I was surrounded with all these very smart people who thought they were better than me because of this kind of like degree or piece of paper that I had. And then I got into industry, got the same tech jobs as everybody else, and I kind of realized none of that bullshit kind of matters. Just if you have a goal, go for it, and if it makes you look silly, that's okay. And even more than that, the ideas that look silly, that look ridiculous on the front, are the best ideas to go for, because that means nobody else is even thinking about it. Like who would think that being a Reddit moderator would have influence or power or whatever? And so that's like the perfect idea that I would go for. Silly ideas that nobody takes seriously. That's just money on the ground for the taking. Yeah.
Speaking of money on the ground, what do you do? You said you were in the tech industry. Are you still in the tech industry? Do you have a job or like?
Yeah, I've last couple
being
years
a Reddit mod, or outside of formerly being a Reddit mod.
So yeah, surprisingly. Basically, I work in the artificial intelligence agency. I'm just basically doing web development. It doesn't matter where, but it's just, languages. Like I have done like interviews with like OpenAI, Anthropic. I don't work there, but like those are the like very real companies like that I've interviewed with and had jobs at.
Have any of your coworkers recognized you from this viral moment and been like, yo?
I was worried about that for a second, but only one person did. And they were like, hell yeah, that's a really funny thing that you did. And so I don't know. Or maybe they don't want to talk to me about it, or maybe they think it's like too embarrassing. But it hasn't caused me issues yet.
So you said you've always been super confident, right? Mm-hmm. You got granted a little bit of power over on Reddit through playing other folks against each other. You kind of rose through the ranks. I'm feeling there's a bit of narcissism coming from you.
Absolutely, for sure. I will not pretend like it's not cool to feel like you're this manipulator god, playing people kind of against each other. And it's even cooler to be like, oh, you're looking down on me. No, not really. Like I'm actually the one looking down on you because you're looking down on me because you don't take me seriously. That's why I'm the real threat behind the scenes who's gonna get you. It's fun. I will admit that. But yeah. So
you're kind of like the ultimate Batman supervillain or something that's been corrupted by the internet in a weird way. Do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a hero or a villain?
I think that if I were to look back on myself like from 5 or 6 years ago, I would be like horrified. I'd be like, what did you become? But that's not how I feel. I feel that I'm right now. And so it's hard to say who is right, like my future self or my past self.
Vera, I'm curious what you think of all this.
I think that this is the dumbest shit ever. I gotta keep it a buck. I think that this guy is the perfect encapsulation of a Reddit user, and Reddit's filled with retards.
I mean, in some ways you're right, but I guess I'll ask you a question.
I am right.
Do you think that social media matters? Like, do you think that X matters? Twitter matters?
Yes, culture is influenced by social media.
Yeah. I mean, and Reddit is 3 times as large as X or social media. I mean, so
it's not as large as YouTube.
You're right. It's right below YouTube. But I guess what I'll say is, I'll agree that this is all stupid. But that's like kind of my point. It's like all these large platforms, or this large platform, has eyeballs, has all these views.
I don't believe that the platforms are stupid. I think that you, as a person, are being ridiculous.
You're right.
That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Thanks, Vera.
I have a quick question.
Panda, I appreciate you being transparent, Vera. That's good. Yes. Panda.
Yeah. But the changes, like, so when you say you're manipulating, you're not necessarily, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not necessarily manipulating it just willy-nilly. You are trying to make the community a little bit better, or what are some of your motivations for these manipulations? It's not just a power trip for you, correct?
Yeah, correct. Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. What's the point of having power if you don't use it for a goal, right? Yeah. So, my initial goals was to kind of like help out the streaming space. So this old subreddit used to be used for some pretty horrifying things, like mostly like revenge porn against kind of like major kind of like female streamers. And, I was against that. I was thinking like, how do I stop that? But then also I feel like I'm kind of like an arbiter of kind of like the drama or like the discourse. So, if a bad thing happens about a streamer, I do try my best to like look into it. Like, is this true or is this false? And I guess, if I think it's like untrue, yeah, I'll get rid of it. Right. And so some people would call that censorship. Like you're getting in the middle of it by stopping us from talking about this thing that, I think is false. But, I mean, I'm in charge, so I don't care. So yeah, I will, censor false things.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, Vera, go ahead.
Why do you believe that you deserve this higher power? Do you have a high level of education? Have you ever worked maybe at a law firm, PR management, or you just believe that you deserve that power?
The answer is I don't deserve it. I was just the one who took it. And I'm just the one telling you that. And that is almost like, that should make you worried about the rest of your platform. That, if you think that I'm silly or power hungry, what does it say about everybody else?
So do you feel like you're the only one that's spoken out about feeling that way about having that amount of power, as you said?
I think people joke about it and they don't really take it seriously. Like the power hungry Reddit mod is almost like a meme in and of itself, but it's also kind of true. And nobody has thought for a moment that like maybe I should stop laughing and see what it says about kind of this platform.
I just kind of see you as like kind of maybe I'm wrong here. It almost feels like almost like a politician in a sense, right? Like you have in your mind what you believe is good and how to move this platform in the right direction, and you're kind of making that political decision. And listen, you're gonna upset some people in those decisions, and you're gonna be good on the other side. Does that kind of feel accurate to you? It's almost like a political. It's like a politician absolutely. In a sense. Yeah.
And my only thoughts is like, somebody has to do it. Like if there was, a better person than me that took power, like I would be happy. I actually even think like the new mods that replaced me, the new guys actually I think a lot more competent than I am. And so I'm excited about that. But I wish there were like real politicians trying to control these subreddits instead of just like randos like me.
So do you stand by your statement that Reddit mods should be celebrated as celebrities or like influencers?
Well, so I think that influencers should be treated like idiots who have a platform that they don't deserve, and so the same thing applies to Reddit moderators, right?
Allow me to kind of counter that a little bit, right? Yeah. Because look, I don't consider us influencers by any level. I hate the word influencer, right? Mm-hmm. But the influencers, people who have grown, they've grown for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas a Reddit mod, you are installed, and an influencer has grown their audience vast majority of the time organically. There's plenty of people who have not. We feel maybe plants or something that have been grown inorganically, but most of the time they've grown organically and they've cultivated an audience over time that is warranted of that success. Whereas moderators, they go to an existing platform and they are installed having that with very little reason for the success of said platform.
Yeah, I will say that I actually didn't think about that. So that is a good point. Maybe influencers are, more responsible than moderators, but that almost supports my point, because when I say that they should be treated like celebrities or influencers, I'm not saying that they deserve respect. I'm saying that they need help. An influencer might have a talent manager who helps them out with all the stuff behind the scenes. Reddit moderators need this even more. Like the fact that you're right, they are on a lower rung than influencers, which is why they need an adult in the room even more to like fix their shit.
I understand what you're saying, but I think that's a platform structure change that they would have to implement. And it seems like for so long, they don't have to pay moderators or have the resources to have a team behind you to have that support. The way that I took that statement was a little strange, because I thought the whole point of Reddit was anonymity. Like you're supposed to remain anonymous. But now I understand what you mean when you said that.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned a minute ago that the idea that you would decide what gets seen, you would sometimes censor things, right? So one very noticeable incident, and then we're talking about what was the biggest mod the biggest subreddit that you modded for, the one you were just booted?
Live stream fail.
All right, so live stream fail. They were pretty notorious about limiting things when it came to Hassan shocking Kaya the dog. So what do you think happened? Do you think that Hassan shocked his dog? And why did they, over on live streams fails, immediately ban any mention of the dog shocking incident?
Sure, I can give you the very direct reason why.
Please.
So first of all, he absolutely shocked his dog. He
then
did.
Why censor it?
So initially, technically it wasn't me, but these are very dynamic situations. When we're looking into this, the initial clip, we don't know if it's true or not. And so somebody was like, well, this might be misinformation. We should look into it. But then we did eventually allow it after like a couple hours. And it was the #1 most topic on the subreddit for months, for like a month or two, if not the largest topic that has ever been on the subreddit in its history. And so it does feel weird for people to say like, and not only that, like, but Hassan himself knows who I am, calls me out by name, and like hates me. And so it does feel kind of weird for people to say like, oh, you're on his side or whatever, when, we kind of like let this be the largest negative PR campaign ever to hit them in his career either. So, but yeah, I mean, the reason why it was censored is somebody was like, I mean, they're like, I don't know, let's look into us. This could be misinformation. And then, and there was an argument back and forth. Somebody's not always right. And then we convinced the mods, and then we try to change the position we allowed it. So that's how it goes.
What does that look like? What's the conversation look like? You are the head mod here. So don't you ultimately, is it like you're the president, you get the last say in the matter, or is it more of a democracy where there's a voting process?
There used to be a voting process. I got rid of the voting process, but it's more of it is more of a discussion. So I don't like, I understand that I'm the head mod and I have this power, and I don't like to use it unless it's very important. And so, I will let other people kind of make up their own mind or argue about it or whatever. And that actually was one. I was outside of that conversation and let other people argue it out.
But this is the biggest story on you just said it yourself. This is the biggest story on the subreddit that possibly ever happened, right? How would you be outside that conversation? You're the lead.
I mean, it wasn't that at the time. So when the first clip came out, we were not expecting this to be viral for like a month or two. I guess I also was outside of it because I saw other people were solving it. So other people, there was one mod who didn't want it, and 3 or 4 did want it, and so I saw them argue it out and fix the problem and deal with the situation in a way that I think was good.
There's a perception when it comes to live stream fails and Reddit and in general, and that is it is extremely biased, right? It is a very left-wing heavy platform, right? And the perception is that it protects, specifically when it comes to LSF, that it protects certain streamers. Do you feel that mods are running cover to protect certain streamers, specifically Hassan? Are there any potential background deals that are there? Maybe not from Hassan, but from other streamers to say, hey, put a clip up here. Have you ever been? Let's start there, then we'll continue.
I mean, for him, it feels so ironic to hear this because he himself Hassan thinks that this subreddit is his biggest enemy in the world. And so I hear that from him, and then I hear it from other people like, oh, you're protecting Hassan. So in a very ironic way, the more that you cause harm to somebody, the more people are going to think that you're protecting them because of the 1 or 2 things that you do remove end up being noticed for. So I call it selection bias. You'll see, one post will be way over the top, even something we won't even allow. And then people will see that one post, but they don't do the math of say okay, you allowed 100 others and you only remove 1. I would say that LSF is one of the more centrist, platforms out there. We have, Hassan's audience, Destiny's audience, Asmongold audience, XQC. We have it kind of all over the place. So I just think it's silly. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
Blabs, you've been fairly quiet. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Do you know that indie movie Star Wars Revenge of the Sith where Palpatine goes unlimited power? Just curious about that because I feel like you are kind of taking a lot of power and without any reason for it.
Yeah, I mean it's I'll say again, I should not have been let to do this. I wish there was more confident people who would kind of take over these subreddits. So it's not up to the power hungry people who are willing to harm our own sanity to do it for it. Yeah.
I have a few other questions, but I'd like to open the floor to Vera, Meg, Phoenix, and anybody else who'd like to ask questions here. Vera, do you have anything else you'd like to chime in with, by all means, for
Nope.
Brian? Nope. Okay. Meg?
No.
Phoenix?
Well, my only question, because so far I think what you've been saying kind of makes a little sense. I'm trying to gauge everything and put in and be as fair as I possibly can with you. But is there anyone that you're saying that you feel that you're not? Am I getting this right? That you feel like you're unfit for this job and you wish someone else would replace you? And if that is, if I'm hearing that right, who is the perfect person for that role then?
Community managers or something like there are people who this is their job. They do it for other companies. Maybe people who run Twitter accounts. Really just anybody who, both takes it seriously and isn't, broken by the internet, it's almost like the worst people who can take power are the ones who do it when it should just be I just think it should be meritocratic. Maybe Reddit itself, they should have applications and they should just read them through and pick the best one instead of it just being kind of random. And it's not meritocratic. It's not people just treating it like a job, because it is a job. Maybe Reddit should just pay people money. Like, people talk about that for a while, and you don't have to do it for every subreddit. You could just do it for like the top 100 subreddits. So there's a lot of ideas.
All right, Chad, if you'd like to ask Brian a question, you can. The viral Reddit mod, or X Reddit mod. I still have a couple more questions from X. Fluffy Pro would like to know, who is the most powerful streamer that you've destroyed?
Let's see. I think Atrioc is up there. So he had he was doing deep fake porn or something of like other female streamers, and the reason why that came out is because like one frame of like where he was buying the deep fake porn or something went like viral on LSF, and so like kind of because of that thread, he took a lot of hits, and he was like canceled for like years. Not because like I wasn't like trying to really destroy him, it's just that's what the subreddit did, is like that was where this big controversy went viral on.
Okay, so you didn't go out of your way to try to destroy him with your powers.
No. And I'm not even really ever doing that. It's more of I'm the arbiter, right? So if I see somebody else trying to destroy them, and I think it's like unfair or untrue or whatever. Actually, I have a better example. The answer is Miskiff. Like, we did it like twice. Okay, his career got destroyed twice because of us. But yeah.
Why? What'd you do? What happened?
There was Dramageddon 1 where he was supposedly protecting some friend who assaulted somebody, and then that was like viral for months. And then there was another more recent one that was super viral related to like Emaru, where he was accused by Emaru of stuff, and then that was the whole front page for like a week was drama about my stuff. And like, yeah, we saw this happening, and yeah, we let it. We didn't really want to take sides on this one because we didn't really know, and so yeah, we just kind of let it go.
You feel I have a strong like Sith Lord energy coming from you.
I think more my so
I don't know about that.
Who gave power?
Sith Lord with a golden heart? Is that what you're like?
No.
Well, I'll let him talk.
There's a better analogy. Who gave Emperor Palpatine power?
He did.
He took it.
No. It was Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks made Emperor Palpatine the Emperor. He introduced the motion in the Senate. So that's who I think of myself as.
Jar Jar
You think of
Binks?
yourself as Jar Jar Binks?
That's what he did. But like, you joke, you laugh, and then you realize he caused the fall of the Empire.
But it's true.
He did.
I mean,
He did.
but he did. That is actually true.
I love, Blabs, I love your reaction to this. All right, listen, some more questions, and we're going to get to some from you guys in the chat. Optopops says, ask him if it's policy to stifle speech in certain subs from the higher-ups, or if it's on a sub-mod basis. Like, do the higher-ups deem some subs problematic, or do the mods themselves make that determination?
You have to like really screw up to get kicked out, and it has to be in like in very specific things. So admins almost never step in, and I mean, it's like for very obvious stuff like death threats or violence or whatever. But mostly things are just controlled by mods.
So the mods have all the power. Yes, Phoenix.
Super fast question. What would you say is your like top 3 attributes in this role that makes you, perfect for the job? What would you say are your 3 greatest strengths?
I mean, one is like being willing to do things that look silly, that other people don't take seriously. 2, it's the ability to take action without really regards to if it will succeed or fail or not. I think that people are way too afraid of failure when you can just, kind of like move on. Even like I didn't really know what was going to happen with my original video. And I was just willing to put myself out there. So, I mean, those are the two I guess I can think of.
Okay.
Well, you have responded to videos from Moist Critical. You've seen Asmongold react to videos of yours. If you had them in front of you right now, what would be your message to Asmongold and Moist Critical?
Let's see. I would almost like go like super serious into it. I would talk about how this is how large this company is. Like, this is how many views it gets. And I would ask them, hey, like maybe stop laughing for even a second. And like, just kind of like think about, do you think social media even matters? And are there ways that, kind of like maybe your laughter is the problem. Maybe the reason why this platform is so bad is kind of because people just kind of laugh at it.
Well, don't you think there's good reason to laugh at it? I mean,
there is, but you should laugh at it, and that should make you want it to be better. You shouldn't laugh at it and then dismiss it. You should laugh at how bad it is and think, what if I didn't have to laugh? What if it could be better and could be treated like a more serious platform, like every other social media platform?
Well, I think every social media platform gets laughed at,
Yeah.
And so whether you're on X, Facebook, Threads, Blue Sky, Reddit, whatever, even YouTube. All right. So listen, there are some questions from the chat, which I want to get to. But also I want to play a quick game where I asked Grok, I said, Grok, what are some Reddit mod stereotypes? And we're going to check some boxes here. Okay. Number one, power tripping basement dwellers. Well, I think we got the power tripping thing. Yes. You admitted that. Correct? Right.
I get 2 floors in my apartment, so I'm in the bottom floor right now. So
okay. Do you live on your own?
I do. Yeah. San Francisco. Yeah.
On your own in San Francisco. No mother, no father, no grandma.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Just making sure. Dictators and fragile egos.
Dictator, but no fragile ego.
Okay. All right. You said you are employed.
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Yes.
You're actively employed right now.
Surprisingly, yeah. Yeah, surprisingly.
Okay. The physical appearance and I mean, you do understand you would look like a typical Reddit mod, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. And I appreciate that
It's
you
very
understand.
brave and bold of you to say so. That you know that you are. Also,
I think it's been nothing but fair, personally.
yeah, no. Like, it's very commendable for you to come up here and say all this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're hypocritical or narrative pushing?
Yes. Certainly over time. Yeah.
I want you to know that you have hit every single stereotype pretty much at this point, with the exception of being that you have a job. So congratulations. I mean, that's great.
But he doesn't live with his folks either.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Good stuff. All right. So some questions from the chat. Very important questions, I think. Envy Snake says, was he bullied in high school?
No, but I was with all the people who were bullied, so they wouldn't bully me, right? Because it was like a private school. It was actually Bill Gates's kind of high school, and we were all.
This fits.
Yeah.
Blabs, go ahead and continue. Why does it fit? I'm sorry.
Bill Gates. Then carry on.
No, I'll tell you why it fits, because he was smart enough to know, and I knew this too, that you make friends with the bullies and then they never bully you. That kind of goes back with that little politician mindset. So he had it as, even younger. He had the smarts to know that.
Ministry of Wrong Thing says, question for the Reddit mod, fuck, marry, kill, Karl Marx, Joseph Stalin, and Rachel Ziegler.
Kill all of them.
Are you saying to kill them all?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. But, that's not the game, though. You got to fuck one, you got to marry one, you got to kill one. So I'm going to hold your feet to the fire here.
I guess.
Whoa! I'm sorry. You said what?
Rachel's a girl, so I guess marry, fuck her. And then I killed Joseph Stalin, and then marry Karl Marx. I don't know. He's more of a cool dude. Okay, Karl Marx. I don't think Stalin was cool, but I feel like Marx. He had something going for him.
Holy
There's like a movie about him.
Fuck, bro. Jesus Christ.
Let him talk.
That's a good question. Good question. Go ahead, Vera. And go ahead,
Nothing
Brian.
to say.
Well, why was he cool? I'm curious. Why was he cool?
I remember I saw a poster of something called Young Marx. It was like a movie in France, and he looked hip in that one. His new pictures, like his old pictures, yeah, he does not look cool there.
So you're talking physical appearance, then yeah.
Yeah.
Ha.
Okay. Do you
Not
feel like
his ideas. He's an idiot.
Oh, okay. Well, a little clarity, I guess. That's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're an underdog fighting the system?
Yes, but who better? Who else would fight the system other than kind of the underdogs? That is kind of the point. Yeah, I mean, I am. That's my whole story. Is like I am sick of the system. I try to go through the system first. I'll try to do all the right things, and then it'll always fail every step of the way until you're pushed to your route without my kind of decision into breaking the rules. So.
Adundum over on X says, ask him if he had a chance, would you still have made that initial video? If you could go back.
I think I would. I don't go back and think about kind of mistakes that I made. I think forward. It's what do I do now, not kind of the things that got me into this.
All right. Is there anything else you feel like we need to add to this conversation before we let you bounce?
I have a question, actually.
Yes.
This is basically like the check boxes for Reddit mods, and I'm being genuine when I ask you this. Do you have any like mental disorders?
ADHD, actually. I think that comes out very, very real. Yeah.
I have a quickie too, real fast. So, like, I don't know. Actually, when I watched your initial video, I kind of could see that there was definitely humor behind it. I think I definitely got that. Have you ever considered? Because I actually think it'd be worth the exploration. Have you considered maybe flipping on a camera and I know you don't like influencers, but maybe like doing some live streams or anything like that? I think the people would. I think the people would love to see that.
I am trying to do that, actually.
Awesome.
I have like 30, 40 other YouTube videos in there, mostly pre-prepared content. I will say that it's much harder, on live stuff, especially when I'm like dealing with like a chat like this.
Sure.
I get very overwhelmed. I've had like hundreds of people kind of yelling at me. I can do like one-on-one, couple conversations like this where people are being kind of good faith, but I'm not going to be doing like live debates or anything because I collapse is the answer if I
no, I would just love to see you just start making some videos and stuff like that. I think it'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
I think we've been fairly good faith this entire time. I think we can have opinions about it, about things, but and once again, this is in good faith. I'm legitimately asking this because the internet has asked this, right? Your comb over isn't fooling anybody. What about just shaving it off, man, and just letting it go?
I don't like doing what people tell me to do. And so I'm not
Attaboy.
sure if that's a good idea, but
Attaboy.
that's how I'm doing, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying you want to keep the comb over and let it go, baby. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I listen, as somebody who male pattern baldness hits everybody, 80% of men, so I get it. Totally understand. Okay, well, Vera, Meg, the floor is yours by all means. If you have any other questions or statements before we allow Brian to make his last statement, by all means, the floor is yours, ladies.
No, I don't really have any interest in his story, so I've got no questions for him. He's a pretty arrogant a-hole, which Reddit is full of, and we already know every Reddit mod is.
Meg?
Sorry, I was muted. No, I mean, I think it was very admirable of you to face these questions and come on here and
You didn't dodge one.
Nope, and you're totally being yourself. And whether or not I agree with the power trip of Reddit moderators, which I don't, I do have to commend you for sitting through questions like this. So, good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Brian, you got the last word, my man. Is there anything you want to say to the Reddit mod community for voting you out, or just what's next for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think I say good luck to them. They're a good team, and I hope they succeed. And I am looking to talk to other content creators, do more stuff like this, since that's the big thing. Yeah.
Hey, YouTube said you should watch this video too. Obey the overlords.